Excellent. Help us get back on time. Dr. Erdogan is from Istanbul, Turkey, and he first introduced me to this K-bot in, I'd say, 2020. And it's like, wow. Wow.
Okay. First of all, I just want to thank Dr. John Cole for hair restoration sessions in this huge meeting. Thank you. It's about keyboard, a video presentation. The most frequent questions patients are asking to me every day: what is my donor capacity? How many grafts do I need for a good coverage? And the interesting part, every clinic, every doctor is giving a different answer. Coverage is related by 4 components, and we have 2 major components: the number of the hair and the thickness, the caliber of the hair. Minor components that we cannot control: structure of the hair, wavy, curly, and straight, and the color contrast between the hair and the skin. Coverage value is the mathematical way to calculate the coverage by using the caliber of the hair and the number of hairs per square centimeter. What we are doing, we are simply multiplying the number of the hair with the thickness caliber of the hair in millimeter, and we are finding a number, and we call that coverage value. I just want to share how I use this in my daily practice. Before shaving the hair, I need samples from different parts of the donor area, and by using micrometer, I'm calculating the caliber of different parts. After shaving his hair, I am determining the donor area and calculated each area in centimeter square: temporal, parietal, and occipital parts. I use macro photos by using dim light and using these photos in an application, hair counter. By using hair counter, we are counting each hair and the calculated density of the hair. So it will be possible for me to calculate coverage value of different parts. Calculation is the most important thing for donor harvesting plan, because if you have a coverage value around 7, you can maximum extract 15% of hair ratio. But if it is around 20s, which is very rare, you have a chance to extract 70% of hair ratio. So calculation is the most important thing for harvesting plan. I have some difficulties in my calculation system. First of all, you can take only few samples from the donor area. You can maximum cut 10, 15 hairs, and you can measure it. And even you can measure it in a correct way. It's not representing all the donor area because numbers are changing from up to down, right to left. Another problem, hair is not round. It has an elliptical index. It was published by British Journal of Dermatology in 1997. Different races also has different elliptical index. East Asians has more round hairs, but Africans has higher elliptical indexes. When we are trying to measure hair caliber, we are using micrometers. Micrometers mostly measure the short axis of the hair. And if you have a chance to turn around, you will see that you will get different numbers. Another problem is the compression of micrometer is pressing and compression of the hair shaft, and mostly we are getting lower numbers of the reality. This is my solution, Keybot, robotic scanning system. We are evaluating patients in 2 steps. First, before the operation evaluation, and after the surgery. Before the operation, what Keybot is doing, first of all, calculating the donor area, how many centimeters square, and counting the number of the follicles from each area. Counting the number of the hairs, giving us the average caliber of hair from different areas. After surgery, Keybot is scanning first the donor area, how many holes we created in the donor area, and then checking the recipient area, how many grafts we transplanted, and what's the density of the recipient area that we transplanted.
Keyboard is a vision and artificial intelligence-based robotic system. It has two camera systems on it. The first camera system allows us to capture 3D model of the head. The second camera system has a very high resolution sensor, and it allows us to capture the head images at 5 micron resolution. We capture each and every follicle in the head, and we analyze each hair in each follicle so that we are able to determine the exact thickness of each hair in the head.
Thank you very much. We have some upgrades by keyboard. If we have a chance to talk about that, I will explain. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And next again, we have Dr. Gender hairline, transgender hairline.
Congratulations, Dr. Erdogan. It's always difficult to follow on from such an amazing talk, but luckily this is a different subject matter.
I'm losing my hair. And I did this technique back in September, and 3 months later, I had 30% more hair. So yeah, works good. Next.
I just would like to ask the panel about two things. We always mention, like Dr. Erdogan has said, and I think that's a very good paper that he mentioned, we take in consideration two things, the diameter and the number of hair. My point has always been, and I would quote again John Call about that he has mentioned that the hair length can be hextupolated. So how many times do we really calculate when we are talking about the volume, the length of the hair? I mean, if we see the total hair transplant times the diameter, and then there is the length. So the length, if we increase, you can actually increase the volume. So what I understand is, in my opinion, the length of the hair, if you really see, takes the precedence on all other forms of in order to create the volume. So I would like to ask my panels, how many of them do they actually calculate or see the length of the hair the patient will take, and how can it help in creating that volume?
We use coverage value for the donor capacity. Yes, length of the hair is helping for the coverage, but we cannot use it for extraction plan because, for example, we have many samples, many people that keeping this hair long and nothing here and then putting it like this, and with the wind going up, this doesn't mean a coverage. So for extraction plan, we cannot, yes, length is a factor, but for extraction plan, the way that I use coverage value, the length is not a criteria from my side.
So I think it's a very, very good point. And I've never been a fan of morphing software that is used.
I am Dr. Yazidi from Morocco, and I do hair grafts many years ago. I have been learning with Dr. Rabino here in Paris, one of the first in the world. And this last time, I have been in Turkey, okay? And I have seen very, very good results. It depends of doctors. But not all this technology, not all this philosophy. So what's the secret? Good results, very good result, and I think one of the best results in the world. I know all the doctors in the world who does hair grafts. There is very nice doctors, but the results that we see now in Turkey, very fantastic. So, are you agree with me? And what is the secret?
Here we go.
I saw more than him. It's not true. Yeah. My clinic is in Istanbul, and I see many cases also from my country. Yes, there are many, 5,000 clinics just in Istanbul. It's an amazing number. So you can find the worst clinic in the world in Istanbul and one of the best clinics in the world also in Istanbul, but it's not true. Most of the cases I have seen,
Bad.
Not bad, yeah.
All right, so you could have a clinic that does 7 cases in a day, and one of them has a good result, and the other 6 are not good. So they have different teams. And I've been to Dr. Erdogan's; they're all consistent. The results are all good. The main thing is patient. They spend a lot of time on consultation, patient selection. You know, you got to pick the right patient and you got to get the right plan.
You know, I have been a member of European Academy of Hair Surgery of Dr. Frechet, you know him, and I was a member since the first time, and before there is no Turkish doctors in this Congress, and I have seen them coming in the Congress in Vienna. You were there with us, and they came slowly, and now I think they do 80% of hair graft in the world. Me in Morocco before, I was doing every day. Now,
well,
less
we all
because
know that there's a lot of surgery in Turkey, and you know the purpose of this is not to decide where the most surgery is done. It's to help doctors who want to add hair transplant surgery to their practice, to help improve the quality of existing doctors, but not to discuss that.
Can I ask you a question,
Yeah.
Dr. John? I just want to thank you. For a long time, I heard something about about Turkey, about the hair transplantation in Turkey. Thank you for this. Because in every group, I get used when they say Turkey is a target and everybody start to attack. But somebody talk in a good way, even it's not true. I feel better. My question about finasteride. We all know that for a long term, whatever you do, hair transplantation, after a while, it will fail. So even we say that to save gonorrhea, this type of things, and we all know that gonorrhea is not safe. So we have to use it in a damn balanced way. But post-finasteride syndrome, and I just want to talk about the pressure over us. It's getting more and more about finasteride is supporting treatment. So I have many cases when they started to take finasteride, they are coming me back with better libido. I feel much better for we don't have any libido problems. But I think we should do something also, because the people are, by using post-finasteride syndrome and this pressure things, it's becoming more hard to convince them to take medication.
Yeah, well, I mean, a lot of people come in and they say, I'm going to get a transplant and then I'm going to stop meds. Or I'll take the transplant instead of meds. Bottom line is you can find other things that are got to move on. Yeah, sometimes it's psychological. Okay, now we're going to get Dr. Erdogan again. Come on. Now we're going to learn how to put grafts in. Really simple way to do it. Anytime I train somebody new, I like to pull out the key. They can't damage the grafts, and all they can do is break the key.
Most of my poor regrowth cases are related by bleeding and hard skins with long or splayed grafts. Where is the problem? After placing many grafts, we are getting tired and start to hold grafts harder. Another problem is premade incisions are becoming more tight and not easy to find them without damaging the graft. When I start to check the graft quality, I have found many curved grafts. And this is my solution, a new embedding placer, KEEP. Totally autoclavable, the thinnest medical German steel, only 50 micron thickness. It's easy to load and place your grafts without any damage. No curving problems. Not possible to damage your graft with tight or hard holding. Some of the damaged grafts are getting curved after 24 hours by inflammation. These are keeps, different calibers with different colors according to your punch size. Easy to learn and fast. Two assistants can work together, two different types for left and right hand. Without touching your graft, easy to load and place, even for temple peaks. Also, you can adapt to place your grafts for vertex.
Hi, I'm Dr. Antonio Ruston. Nearly 30 years in the hair transplant field, 15 years in FUE. First time I saw KEEP was in 2017 when I visited Dr. Koray Erdogan, the inventor and user. I've been using KEEP ever since. Actually, I think we were the second clinic in the world to use KEEP. Before that, we used the implanter, which is also very good. But let me tell you my personal opinion about the advantage of the KEEP. No touch, self-load system, so less chance to damage the grafts. Easier learning curve. Different size and diameters for different grafts. Possibility of 2 placers at the same time. And sometimes when we work in 2 different areas, we can have 3 or 4 places working at the same time in different areas. So you have faster and safer placement, leading to better growth.
In hair restoration, while placing, I believe in pyramid incisions, because by pyramid incisions I can make a better distribution planning. I was using forceps for many years, but I got some poor regrowth results, and I tried to understand why. I realized that we are damaging the grafts up to 1,000 grafts when you start to place. And I tried implanter, but loading implanter is another trauma. So I designed KEEP for frontline, for natural looking, for the angles. This is my result by KEEP. For temporal peaks is is for natural looking. You need an acute angle. So by using KEEP system, I can create more natural results. I just want to share some of them here. And vortex, is another challenge, because there is a clockwise rotation. So you shouldn't damage the follicles between transplantation. And I like lateral incision to give that direction. For lateral incision, KEEP is working very well also. And curly hair is another challenge. In forceps time, I was having poor regrowth rates by curly hairs. Imagine these grafts, you have to place them with forceps. And with KEEP, it's a piece of cake. You can easily place them into incisions and getting better results. With long hair, it's very popular. KEEP is ideal for long hair. You can easily place them, and even after 1 hour it looks like this. And in this case I did them in 2016. My IT manager, my first long hair cases, these are after 1 hour. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And we have the last talk before we go into discussion. Dr. Vekris from Greece.
All right, so I got to say, Koray, how many grafts per minute can you place with 2 people with the KEEP?
When they are together in 1 hour, with a moderate case, they can place 2,000 grafts per hour together.
Yeah. Which it's actually, I've timed your team. That's the fastest I've timed.
Yeah, Tony is doing with four implanters.
The fastest I've timed, yeah.
Tony is using 4 implanters, but I don't do that. I maximum 2 implanters.
Yeah.
Just one last comment about the KEEP. I think that's my one of the favorites. It's very simple, but please do try a dilator. And instead of holding the graft from the bottom, hold it from the skin. It simply slips through it. It's the cheapest. It's a very easy thing. But if anything better than that, I think KEEP is these 2 things. Your technicians can do anything about 1,000 per person in 1 hour.
Thank you.